When I look at nature, I'm filled with awe and wonder, but I'm also drawn in, pulled to understand it as best I can. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out ways to frame my understanding. The latest concept I'm using is a system-based approach. Simply put, I want to understand everything around me as a system. And furthermore, I want to learn and demonstrate my ideas as systems. When we look around us at nature, we see plants growing and moving. We see clouds going through the sky. We see rocks and minerals that have formed over countless years. But these are all systems. At least they can be viewed as systems. The technology that we create, fans, laptops, light fixtures, those are all systems as well. It would help to have a very simple, concrete idea of what a system is, what it does. Well, think about a plant. It takes in water and minerals from the ground. Depending on what plant it is, it'll do different processes. So either a fern or a lemon tree will create two different results with the similar minerals in water and air. And plants produce fruit or seeds or leaves. The weather system. You have water that evaporates, that's the input into the atmosphere. Clouds are formed and rain comes back down. Every system you find is going to have four simple concepts. One is an input, the other is an output. Then you have the process that changes the input into the output. And you also have the components of a system that enable that processing. To further explore what systems could be, because there's a lot more systems than just those four components. I've been working on something to demonstrate this idea, but it's been taking a little bit longer than I thought. So I created something a little bit more simple to just demonstrate those four very simple concepts. Here I have something that can be viewed as a system. It's rather tall, so it doesn't fit all in the shot, but you can see three different main regions here. At the top, I have a starting area where a marble will be placed. It'll come down, bump through the randomizer region, and end up in one of the 6 different slots. In this case, it landed on 5. Let's run this system again. We have the input, the marble's position and speed, the process of randomizing it, and it hits different components along the way, and also these 6 different regions are kind of like components, but they also represent the output. In this case, it rolled a 4. Now this system works by a ball rolling because of gravity, so obviously it helps if it's propped up. There's some parts about this system that aren't exactly well defined as it. So gravity, the angle of the tilt, these are things that affect the system but aren't necessarily a part of me creating it. So now if I roll, it'll go a little bit faster. That time it hit a 6. I'm gonna do this quite a few more times, each time rolling it. Oh, and unexpected things can even happen because this is a very quick and simple system. The only moving part is the ball rolling. You can view the input of this as positional. It's randomized, but different spots will create different results. So if I put it there, it's probably always going to fall on this side of the output. Oh, but not necessarily. So it's a randomizer, and it functions okay as a randomizer. Maybe I'll run a few trials and see the distribution. It's definitely like a weighted die. So if you are rolling between 1 and 6, you're probably going to use a dice. It's much more random. It's much simpler than this. It still uses gravity, but it won't shoot out like that. So again, looking at this with our 4 ideas, we have an input, We have some sort of positional input and also speed if I give it a push. We have components, which is a ramp, an elevated ramp on one side and down on the ground on the other, with also these little buttons that'll knock it as it rolls down. It'll hit it into different spots. And down here, as one of the components, which also is the output, it's a positional output, so it'll fall and stay in one of these. And that's our output, would be a 2 or a 4. And the process of this system is to basically create a randomized number. We can see after 70 rolls the outcome of each number, and it's an obvious curve, not favoring the center numbers. So we can see from those results that if you want something way more actually random, you're going to want to roll some dice. But that makes an interesting point. Dice can roll a random number between 1 and 6, but our system, rolled a number between 1 and 6. So there's probably going to be a lot of different systems that do a similar thing or do entirely different things. And we're going to want to take a look at a lot of systems. We just added one, a little randomizer board. And we're going to want to take a look at a lot more systems in the future so that way we can draw generalizations between them and see the way that we can understand systems. So there's more systems to come. And in the meantime, when you're out and about, try to see if you can understand the things around you as systems.